Rebecca Collard has been following the story, and she's in Beirut right now. She joins us live. And Rebecca, you spoke with Save the Children earlier, didn't you? What did you learn from them?
Well, Rob, these horrifying details that you've just shared about this attack on this maternity hospital in Idlib province, of babies being thrown from incubators, and there was actually a woman who was in labor at the time of the attack. So very, 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 very dramatic and horrible scenes. What they told me was that there was one strike which they described was directly on the entrance to the hospital, and several more strikes nearby. And I think the bigger concern, Rob, is that what we've been hearing from activist organizations, rights groups, and medical charities is that there seems to be indiscriminate attacks, if not deliberate targeting of medical facilities in Syria. Now, Save the Children this morning told me there was at least 10 other medical facilities targeted this week alone, in Syria. And of course, first of all, there is this concern about why armed parties are targeting these facilities. And second of all, the result of that, which is that in this time of conflict, many communities are losing their only source of medical assistance, which is, of course, puts them in a dire situation, Rob.
Yeah, it's an awful development. And we've also heard about thousands of people leaving through aid corridors in nearby Aleppo. What can you tell us about that situation, Rebecca?
Well, Russia announced earlier this week that they would be opening these aid corridors into Aleppo, and today announcing, I think it was just a few hundred people that had actually left, including a few dozen rebels, which they said surrendered to forces allied with the Syrian government. Now, of course, Russia is saying that they will open more corridors in the coming weeks. This is a very small number that have left, considering there are an estimated 250,000 to 300,000 people still inside Aleppo at the moment. And the concern is that this is basically a preemptive measure for a much larger operation by Syria, Russia, and other allied forces with the government to retake the city. Aleppo is the largest city in Syria. Since 2012, it's been divided between forces loyal to the Syrian government of President Bashar al-Assad and opposition forces. Now, in the last few months, we've seen allied forces allied to the government surrounding Aleppo, and the assumption is that this is the build up to a much larger attack on the city, which will be extremely deadly and probably one of the biggest battles so far in the country, Rob.